Oh, Robin.
So my name's Jennifer Greco. We set up the alarm for 5 a.m. and the car's already loaded. It's no fun to do it in the mornings. I just spent 2-3 days before making everything to make sure I have sufficient supply for my weekends. You have to be here by 6:45 just to be able to get a spot. So you show up at 7 in the morning, you have your lottery number, hopefully you have a number that's like less than 50. And there's definitely spots that you're just like, oh, I'm not gonna make as much money today. You know, or maybe you just want to control who your neighbors are because you're going to be by yourself all day. You know, if you get close to a neighbor, then they can watch you while you go to the bathroom, go get some food, so your stuff doesn't get stolen, because you are dealing with, you know, the streets of San Francisco, which are lovely, but, you know. So then it takes about an hour to an hour and a half to set everything up. To break it down, it takes about 40 minutes, but to set it all up, it's definitely a tedious job. Oh, there he is. You were taking a long time.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, maybe he's arrested. He got caught. If you're not here at 7 a.m. when your number is called, they will skip you. There is no mercy. There is no telling them, oh, there was traffic. No, this is, you gotta be here by 7 in the morning. You have to be set up by 9 in the morning. It's fine. My parents had me going back and forth between New York and Argentina my whole life. At some point when I was 7 years old, we ended up back in Argentina. My grandmother had a huge bag of rosemaries, and she's like, I'm not gonna do anything with these. Maybe you wanna do something with them, you wanna play dress up. And when I opened up the bag, there was over 300 necklaces, and I really wanted to be able to avoid, I remember some game, it was like Uno at the time. You know, there just wasn't a lot of money that was happening. So I asked my grandma if I could just set up shop outside her cute little home, and I sold them all. You know, I sold them all in like a month, and I was able to buy not only my Uno game, I was able to buy my sister some shoes that she wanted. My grandma was smart, and she was like, you know, Jen, you gotta save a third of that. You gotta put it back into the pot and get more. We bought more rosemaries, and we actually bought earrings as well, and then from there I just kept going with it. And then we moved back to New York and went back to school, back and forth. Anyways, I got my master's in social work back here in San Francisco, so I did social work for 10 years. And during that time, I became really depressed, and I was getting a divorce, and it wasn't enough for me to sustain myself. I had a little bit of a breakdown. My therapist suggested that I go back to doing art, jewelry, and I started doing it. I started selling at this market at Embarcadero on the weekends, and I noticed that I was making more money as an artist than I was doing social work. So I just quit my job, left my antidepressants. It turns out that just my job was causing me major sadness. At first I was feeling a little bit guilty about what am I contributing to society, but you know, there's a lot of chaos in this world, so this is my bridge. How do I bridge that chaos and how I feel inside, which is a whole lot of love a lot of times. So this is how I contribute, bringing beauty into the world some way, somehow. The name of my business is Jentana. How I came about that is when I was in Argentina, they used to call me Little Gypsy, and Little Gypsy in Spanish was Gitana. So I just cut off the first part of it, just put Tana, which also means the little Italian girl. I just put Jen and Tana, and I was like, Jentana, that's perfect. That is the name of my business, and I love it.